The universe is a place of unimaginable scale, stretching out in every direction farther than the mind can truly grasp. Hundreds of billions of galaxies fill the cosmos, each galaxy itself a sprawling realm of billions of stars, with countless planets in orbit. Among these is Earth, a tiny blue marble in a boundless sea, home to all of us, and home to you. When you look up at the night sky, it feels like you're gazing into infinity. The stars seem like pinpricks in a vast, dark curtain, but everyone is a sun, and every patch of darkness could hide other worlds. The cosmos above is mysterious, strange, yes, but also oddly familiar. We see it nightly, and we use words to describe its size, even if we can't truly picture it. But if you want to experience something even more mind-bending, you need only look down. Beneath your feet, hidden in plain sight, are worlds that are just as vast and just as strange as the universe above. Not galaxies and stars, but layers of complexity, each smaller and more intricate than the last. Worlds within worlds, all stacked beneath your everyday experience. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a park. It's about 1 kilometer wide, a place you could walk across in 15 minutes with trees, grass, and people enjoying the day. Now picture yourself with a science magic suit, ready for a journey not outward but inward. Each time you press a button, you shrink by a factor of 1,000. What starts as an ordinary stroll soon becomes an odyssey through the layers of reality. You press the button once. Suddenly, you're only 2 millimeters tall, about the size of a grain of sand. The blade of grass beneath your feet now rises like an 8-story building. What used to be a patch of green is transformed. A square meter of grass now looks like a dense city, with 100,000 blades stretching skyward like skyscrapers, as many as the buildings in 2 Manhattan islands. The park you could cross in minutes now feels the size of France. Crossing it would take you a week. The humans you once walked beside now loom above, 4 times taller than the Empire State Building. Their footsteps span what seems like the entire horizon. A bee lands nearby, its wings vibrating so powerfully the ground trembles. To you, the bee is the size of a helicopter. The air around you feels thick and sticky, not the invisible nothingness you're used to. Air resistance, once negligible, is now a wall of honey. Insects take advantage of this peculiar physics, rowing through the air with their wings, moving in ways that would be impossible at your usual size. You press the button again. Now you're 2 micrometers tall, no larger than a bacterium. The park now stretches for over 1 million kilometers. Even if you walked without stopping, it would take you 25 years to cross. The bee from before now looms like Mount Everest, a living mountain of fur and armor. At this scale, air feels almost solid. The blade of grass beneath you now stretches farther than the eye can see, as if you're standing on a continent. The ground is a landscape of valleys, deserts, and craters. But these aren't geological features. They're rows of plant cells, each as big as a house, with walls as tough as glass. Here and there, large openings called stomata act like mouths, inhaling carbon dioxide and exhaling oxygen. Suddenly, a water droplet falls from above, the size of a meteor. You're swept inside, and the water clings to your body like glue. You can't swim away. The water molecules grip you tightly, pulling you into their embrace. Inside the droplet, you're not alone. Tens of thousands of microorganisms float beside you. Viruses the size of tennis balls drift past, while single-celled euglena zip by like tiny submarines. Some shimmer like jellyfish, using whip-like tails to propel themselves at astonishing speeds. Despite the water's stickiness, these microorganisms move with jerky, unpredictable motions. On this scale, inertia is meaningless. The world is thick, Every movement a struggle against resistance, every moment unpredictable. Ready for another step? You press the button once more. Now you're 2 nanometers wide, as small as a molecule. That single droplet of water is now as large as the moon would be to a human. The blade of grass is a continent, and the park is as vast as the solar system. Here, the world is crowded. Everywhere you look, atoms and molecules bounce and collide. The cell walls beneath your feet ripple with waves of energy. A single droplet of water contains nearly a sextillion molecules, each moving at breakneck speed, over 2,000 kilometers per hour, constantly crashing and rebounding. The invisible current you felt before is now a violent storm of motion. Down here, you finally feel the true meaning of heat. It's not just a sensation, but the furious motion of molecules, vibrating, wriggling, smashing into each other. When molecules lose heat, they slow down. When they gain heat, they move faster. Temperature is just the average speed of these microscopic dancers. A molecule slams into you, propelling you out of the droplet and into the air. Here, you realize something astounding. Most of what you thought was stuff is actually empty space. The average gas molecule travels dozens of nanometers before colliding with another. If you compressed all the molecules in a room, they'd fill only a tiny fraction of its volume. 99.9% of everything around you is vacuum. You press the button one last time. Now you're smaller than 2 picometers, entering the subatomic realm. A human at this scale would be 2 billion kilometers tall, arms outstretched from the sun to Saturn. The nucleus of an atom is a grain of sand, holding almost all the atom's mass, while electrons swirl in a vast, fuzzy cloud. The nucleus itself vibrates and quivers, filled with the energy that powers stars and bombs alike. At this limit, reality itself seems to unravel. You approach the Planck length, the smallest possible distance. Here, the fabric of space-time becomes a frothing quantum foam. Particles pop in and out of existence. The rules of the universe begin to break down, and our understanding reaches its edge. And so, your journey ends. You return to your normal size, standing once again in the park. When you look up, the universe is vast and strange. But as you've seen, when you look down, it grows even vaster and even stranger. Perhaps the perfect place is right where you are, not too big, not too small, but balanced between the infinite worlds above and the infinite worlds below. Did you find our videos helpful? Please like and subscribe to our channel so we can be motivated to answer the questions that people are still wondering about.